Example, this is a Pro Walker mold. We already have the 1/4-inch foam molded over the footbed. Let's see if you look down here, the deformity that's already been pretty much corrected. But he's got a severe valgus deformity, probably 40 degrees. We've done a lot of correction in the model, and now we know that there's going to be excess pressure on the medial side. So what we want to do is add a PPT pad or something similar. This is slow return foam over the foam liner, so he's got a nice cushion built into the device. But how do you mold this and make it nice and smooth so you don't see it on the finished product? So we put some contact cement on the region where we're going to put that extra pad, and we got glued here. So we'll place that pad here. And then we're going to sand these edges off while it's right on the project. Now, how would you do that? You can't do it on a belt sander or a drum sander or any kind of thing like that. The only way to really do it is to do it right on the project without having to carry the device over to a machine. This tool here is a pneumatic belt sander. When you start getting close, that's close enough for the feathering. Alright, that takes most of the bulk off, and now we're going to finish it with a dual action sander. Okay, that's the start. So now we're going to finish this with an orbital sander or dual action sander. And what this does is rotate and oscillate at the same time. You'll see. So don't start the machine and then hit the job. Always put pressure on the job, put it on the job, then start it. We're actually blending this down to 0. And you can see by color when it's starting to zero out. This is actually called feathering. Very common in auto body. Now that's all pretty much done in there. Let's just get the front. Now remember, once the plastic is molded over this, you're not going to see any of that because the plastic will cover all that stuff. There are really no imperfections, as smooth as can be. Once the plastic is molded over it, you don't see this joint. Now if you notice, I keep checking this to make sure I'm not going too deep in the foam. Just keep putting pressure on it until you see what it's like. And usually when you see something like that, this is going to be a ridge. You're going to feel a ridge, so you want to sand it out. Now, if you look, the trim line is going to be somewhere in here, so in case we have to do this a little bit. You're all set. Got to be careful, because it's very easy to damage this. Now, you've got a molded PPT extra cushion over the navicular, medium malleolus. So no matter how much pressure I want to put on this guy to get correction out of this valgus deformity and his brittle diabetic condition, he's going to be well cushioned in this area. this part is finished and ready for molding. But you can see, it actually looks like a little bit more valgus than he had before, because you now have a 1/4 inch foam over the medial side that's going to protect the navicular and medial malleolus. But if you look at it, you can see how graceful those shapes are. So by the time the plastic is molded, you won't see any evidence of the red urethane foam that's bonded to the polyethylene foam. Not funny? Now take a look. The whole area where this pad has been built in is now feathered right into the project. You can't see where the pad is now. A little bit of an edge there, but that's way out of the trim lines. But everything is blended. You can't do that any other way. You can't do that on a drum sander or any of the sanding tools. So now this gentleman, who's got a severe valgus deformity, pretty rigid too, has got some correction plus a 1/4 inch PPT behind 1/4 inch polyethylene foam. So he's got the polyethylene that will pack out and mold, and the PPT that will always provide some cushioning. This is the crow walker completed, okay? Now if you look from the back, you can see the valgus deformity, but you can't see any evidence of a pad in there, a patched in PPT pad, alright? And as you come around, that's where it all is. You got a nice bouncy cushion over the bony prominences, the navicular and the medial malleolus, so the patient won't break down over here. And of course, if you look inside, there's a removable footbed. Which you already have the removable footbed with another layer of PPT underneath it to give them some cushion on full weight bearing. And that's the deal. So by using those tools, you can create something that's very nicely molded and hidden. You don't see any patchwork around it. It's beautiful. And of course, the way we do them is simple collisions. One over the most important control surface. One over the forefoot. And one, of course, to control volume and that we put around the back. Voila. He's ready for a fit.